Okay, so guys, today we are going to learn about data structures. The first thing that comes into mind when we refer to an object as a data structure, what do you think? The definition says the term data means a value or a set of values, right? Data is basically a set of values. For example, a student's name may be divided into three sub-items: the first name, the middle name, and the last name. But his roll number normally treated as a single item. In computer science, a data structure is a data organization, management, and storage format that enables efficient access and multiplication. Right? So basically, a data structure is a place, is an object where we store different kinds of data in a proper format, a storage format, and we can manage it. Right? So, for example, an array. Right? We can insert data, we can retrieve data, we can also delete it, we can replace it, we can do a lot of things. So basically that is the management of data. Okay, more precisely, a data structure is a collection of data values, the relationships among them, and the functions or operations that can be applied to the data, right? So also we can have relationships among different kinds of data. For example, in an array, there are two elements, right? The name of the first person and the name of the last person. Maybe they are brothers. We can classify them by retrieving their data. Now, DS is a mathematical model to organize or store data in such a way that we can insert, delete, update the data values efficiently. Like I said previously, we can insert, delete, and update the data values efficiently. Data structures are further classified into two parts: primitive data structures and non-primitive data structures. Now, what are these? The first one is primitive data structure: integers, characters, floats, and boolean. Right? Integers are basically any whole number, positive or negative. Characters are all the alphabetic characters, symbols, right? Floating point values are basically decimal values, okay, which has something after the decimal point. Boolean values are zeros and ones basically. Non-primitive data structures further has two types: linear and non-linear. Now, linear is also further divided into arrays, linked lists, stacks, and queues. We'll learn more about that in the next slides. Linear data structures are basically data that are somehow linked linearly in a single line, right? And non-linear are basically those that do not follow linear pattern, right? Like trees and graphs. Trees are also basically graphs simplified form. We'll learn about that in detail in the next slides. Okay, okay. So first we come to primitive data structures. The basic data structures that are directly operated upon the machine level instructions are known as primitive data structures, right? These are basically data types, okay? Integers, floating points, characters, and booleans, right? These kind of very basic data structures fall in this category. Non-primitive data types, these are more sophisticated data structures. These are derived from primitive data structures. And the non-primitive data structures emphasize on structuring of a group of homogeneous or heterogeneous data items. Okay, so these type of data structures can have various types of data grouped together. Okay, like numbers can be grouped with characters, characters can be grouped with symbols, and likewise. Okay, a non-primitive data type is further divided into linear and non-linear data structure. Okay, these are linear and non-linear in basically lines. Okay, non-linear data structures. A linear data structure is said to be linear if its elements are connected in linear fashion by means of logically or in sequence memory location. So basically in a line, right? There are two ways to represent a linear data structure in memory: static memory location and dynamic memory location. So what happens in static memory location is we create first the basic data storage of the data structure, right? Now, for example, we need an array, right? So we'll create an array like this, a rectangle, okay, and we'll divide this into a lot of parts. Okay. So this one is one. Okay, so leave it for now. So for example, we create an array, right, and we divide it into five parts in the beginning of the program. So that is static memory location, static data structure, right? So basically, we have predefined the size of that array. And what dynamic memory location does is when you run the program, when the program is running, in between that time, we allocate some memory to that data structure. For example, we use malloc functions, scallop functions, and other such functions in C to allocate memory dynamically. Right? This helps in the efficiency of running that program. It takes shorter amount of time and it is less cumbersome. Right? The possible operations on the linear data structure are traversal, insertion, deletion, searching, sorting, and merging. Now we know what insertion is, deleting is, right? We insert one piece of data inside the predefined data structure, for example, arrays, linked lists, etc. We know what deletion is basically removal of an element, right? Searching is basically identifying a particular piece of data from the already predefined data structure, right? So, for example, if an array has five elements, one of those elements has a number six, right? We need to find the number six. That is searching. Sorting is basically arranging the data inside a data structure in a particular order. For example, ascending. Another example would be descending, or we can use other types of methods, right? So, for example, we can place the largest data in between the data structure, and we can place the smallest pieces of data at the ends of the data structure. For example, in an array, in the center we place the biggest value, and at the ends we place the smallest values, right? So any kind of arrangement, okay, when we decide any kind of arrangement for a data structure, that is called sorting. Another thing is traversal. Traversal is basically navigating through that data structure, right? We move through that data structure to perform operations like insertion, deletion, searching. All these things will do, but we first need to traverse that data structure, right? And merging is basically merging of two, grouping together two pieces of data structure. It's simple, nothing complex. Now, examples of linear data structure are array, linked list, stack, and queue. Array you already know probably. It's a very simple data structure. It's a linear data structure. It has its data, in a linear fashion in a single line. Okay, or it can be two lines also. Arrays also have multi-dimensional forms, right? Linked list, stacks, and queue. We'll learn about that in the next slides. Okay, now what is stack? Stack is a linear data structure in which insertion and deletion perform operations are performed at one end only. So this type of data structure, a stack data structure, only has accessibility points in one single place. So if you want to manipulate this data structure in some way, you can only access it from one point, right? This end is closed and this end is open. Whatever you want to do, this end is the place, right? So the insertion operation is referred to as push and deletion operation is referred to as pop. For example, this is a array, right? This is a stack basically. So this looks like an array, so we can understand easily. Now, for example, this place, the top element, right? For example, the top element has a value 1, okay, an integer 1. Now we need to remove it, okay. So we cannot go through this place from down to up. We cannot go from upside. We can see and we can access, okay. So when we delete this value called 1, we refer to that operation, that deletion operation as pop, okay. And if we add add some extra data from this point, the operation, the addition operation or the insertion operation is called push. Okay, so these are very good examples. For example, if we have chairs lying on each other, so if you want to access the middle chair, right? First, you will have to take out the upper chair, all the chairs that are above that. So you need to access this stack of chairs from one point on the upside. Similarly, in a stack of plates, you can access the plates only from upside, right? Now we move to queues. Queues are a very familiar data structures actually. We use queues all the time. The linear data structure which permits the insertion at one end and deletion at another end is known as queue. Very simple, a queue is a line. Okay, a queue is a line. End at which deletion is occurring, sorry, it should be occurring, is known as front end, and another end at which insertion occurs is known as the rear end. So the fundamental difference between a queue and a stack is we can access it through different methods. Now stack was a type of data structure which was LIFO, which means last in first out, right? Which will be inserted last, that will be taken out first. Okay. Now the difference here is a queue is first in first out. Okay. So if you are the first person in the line in a library, when you get your books, you first get out of that line. Because you came first, you have to get out first. This is a queue. Always remember the code FIFO. Okay, FIFO. Now we move to another data structure, linked list. A linked list is actually a very flexible dynamic data structure in which elements can be added to or deleted from anywhere. This is actually the best kind of linear data structure we have. Okay, we can place anything anywhere and connect it to each other. This also allows us accessibility, right? In the case of stacks, queues, we can only place the elements which are placed at contiguous memory locations, right? Which are placed one after the other in the memory itself. But with linked lists, that's not the case. In a linked list, each element is called a node, is allocated space as it is added to the list. Okay. So, for example, one is placed here, two is placed here. These are actually not in straight line in the memory. These are placed far away from each other, but we can directly connect one to the other with the help of a position variable. Okay. So what happens is we have some value. Okay. Now this value is connected to another value by the means of that address of this second value. Okay, so one is connected directly to the address of the value 2, 2 is connected directly to the address of the value 3. Okay, so the address of value 3 is stored beside 2, right? Every node in the list points to the next node in the list. Therefore, in a linked list, every node contains two types of information. The first one is the data stored in the node, the value, a numerical integer or a character or anything, and the pointer, a pointer or a link to the next node in the list, right? So we need to connect two pieces of data that are not beside each other. The only way we can do that is store the address of the next variable or the next piece of data in the first value, right? This is what a linked list is. Now always remember this is a very flexible dynamic data structure and it is extremely important in data structures itself, right? Now we move to non-linear data structures. What are non-linear data structures? Non-linear data structures are those data in which data items are not arranged in a sequence, right? We had stacks, we had queues, we had linked lists. These were linear, okay? These were stored in a particular straight fashion. Non-linear data structures are not like that. Now, examples of nonlinear data structures are trees and graphs. First one is the trees. A tree can be defined as a finite set of data items, nodes. Earlier, we also called nodes to this. These elements are also called nodes, and these elements are also called nodes. But the difference here, you'll see, in which data items are arranged in branches and sub branches according to requirement. Right? These branches and sub-branches are arranged by us according to our requirement, right? Now, trees represent the hierarchical relationship between various elements. For example, in a company, the CEO is at the top, he's the senior of everyone, and next we see the COO and the CFO. Now, these people, COO and CFO, are below the CEO. So, he is their senior and this is the hierarchy. Okay, every company has a hierarchy of positions. Okay, so trees represent that easily. Trees consist of nodes connected by edge. The node represented by circle and edge lives connecting to circle, right? So these are a corporate tree. A tree is a very simple data structure. It decides the hierarchy of the elements. Now we will move on to graphs. Okay, now graph is actually a very useful data structure, right? A graph is a collection of nodes, information, and connecting edges. These connecting edges are actually logical relation that we define in the program, and these nodes contain information. A tree can be viewed as a restricted graph, right? A tree is basically a restricted graph. Graphs have many different types: undirected graphs, directed graphs, and weighted graphs. We'll learn more about these in the next video. Okay, take care.